hours later.
As a brown skin person, I'm tired of being marketed to by big brands calling their sunscreens no white cast and brown skin friendly, and I end up looking like this. To be honest, I'm not going to spend 5 minutes every time I use a sunscreen rubbing it into my face to make it no white cast so that it's brown girl friendly. So I'm going to test out the viral sunscreens that I've seen on the internet for oily skin, dry skin and normal skin marketed as no white cast, and which are affordable under 500 bucks, to check if it actually works for brown skin. Starting off with the Aqualogica Glow Plus Dewy Sunscreen. I'm sure you've seen this all over the internet. This one went viral for a long time. So I'm going to test it out to see if it actually works for brown skin. I'm going to test out all of these sunscreens on different parts of my face so that we can compare and see which one works really well. This feels light on my face but does look a bit white right now. It didn't take more than 10 seconds to blend out. It does not feel like it leaves any white cast. It's super light, but I can definitely feel like something's on my skin. I think that's inevitable when it comes to sunscreens. This one's under 500 bucks and I think it will work well with any skin type. The next sunscreen I'm going to try out is the Watermelon Cooling Sunscreen by Dot & Key. This is the sunscreen I generally end up wearing. I have dry skin, but I prefer to wear this one during hot weather because it's a bit cooling on my skin and feels super light. This one was way easier to blend out than the Aqualogica one. It just took me like 2-3 seconds to blend out the white casty look that it had. And it's not as smooth as how Aqualogica feels on the skin, but it leaves a cooling effect which I love on my skin. It does not leave your skin looking oily, it leaves your skin looking and feeling refreshed when it's really hot outside. I feel like the Dot & Key sunscreen will be more sweat resistant than the Aqualogica one because Aqualogica one feels a bit more heavy on my skin than the Dot & Key one. The next sunscreen I'm gonna try is the Requil Oxybenzone and OMC free sunscreen. This is SPF 50. This is recommended to be used on oily skin. Most of the oily skin sunscreens that I've come across do leave a white cast, so I wanted to test this one out and check if it actually does. It's taking me a while to blend this out and I can definitely see a white cast. I'm not sure if this is getting picked up on the camera. I spent a bit of time trying to rub it into my face. The sunscreen was not that light. I can still see a bit of grayness on my skin. It does not look like a white cast, but it definitely leaves a gray tint on my skin and it feels heavy and a bit thicker than the other sunscreens that I've used. Sunscreens like these try to achieve a matte look so that it can combat the oily skin, but I feel like it just leaves kind of a white cast on my face and it does give me a matte look, but I feel like it's a bit heavy on my skin and it's gonna sweat out once I step into the sun. This sunscreen is not exactly under 500 bucks. The MRP of this sunscreen is 550, but I just wanted to add this into the list of our sunscreens today because It's one of the cheaper sunscreens for oily skin. So I've given the recoil sunscreen 5 minutes to oxidize and see if it actually looks good. Now the white cast and the grey tint is almost gone. Unless you really stare into it, it's not really seen. It just needs to be worked on a bit. So if you have oily skin and you're looking for a matte finish, I think this sunscreen is one of the cheaper options out there. So if you're an oily skinned person and you're looking for a sunscreen which does not leave a white cast and you do not want the matte finish look, I would recommend going with the Dot & Key sunscreen. It's under 500 bucks and it's pretty light and it does not feel super heavy on your skin, so it might just work out for you. The next sunscreen I'm going to be trying out is the Derma Co sunscreen, the 1% hyaluronic acid aqua gel. This is one of those sunscreens that I'm sure you would have seen a lot of times in the past. Texture wise, it's pretty similar to the Aqualogica sunscreen. It takes a bit of time to blend out. It has an initial white cast before you blend it out, and then once it's rubbed into your face, it does not leave any white cast. It feels refreshing and light on your skin. It has a gel consistency and it has 1% hyaluronic acid, so it feels a bit cooling on my skin. It does not leave much of a dewy finish like the Aqualogica one, and it's a bit more lighter than the Aqualogica one. This is a sunscreen I end up wearing where my skin feels super dry because it has 1% hyaluronic acid, and it kind of leaves my skin feeling hydrated and nourished. It's been 5 minutes since I've applied all of these sunscreens. I'm definitely starting to sweat a bit on this side where I applied the Aqualogica sunscreen. I can still feel a bit of the creamy consistency and a bit of a white cast here where I applied the recoil sunscreen, but it's not that bad. On the Derma Co side, it does not feel like much, but I can definitely feel like something's on my skin. And the Dot & Key one is the one I really like. It feels super lightweight and I don't feel like anything is on my skin, and it's not starting to sweat as of now, and it still feels super lightweight here. If I missed any sunscreens that you were looking for, please do comment below and I will take it up in my next video. If you're someone with brown skin and you're struggling to find the right sunscreen for the type of skin that you have, I hope this video helped. Let me know what you think in the comments down below.